Thank you, Michael. Lovely words. Now, we've obviously got the best man speech to come later, but it would be remiss of me not to tell you a little story about my little brother Matthew. Now, us Waterworths, we've all had a bit of a checkered history with school. I got 1 suspension, Jeremy 2, Matthew 3. But it actually came as very little surprise, that third one, for Mum and Dad, because Matthew gave them an insight when he was very young into how his school behaviour was going to go. Wind yourself back to 1999. Matthew was 4, in his first week of kindergarten at the Grange School in Hertford. He's got his form teacher is Mrs. Elliott, not a fan favourite. She also had it in for Matthew from the start, having had to deal with Jeremy just 3 years earlier. And so, as I say, she's had it in for him from the start, and Matthew is not going to take this lying down. So as I say, we're in week 1. It's Creative Day on the Friday, lots of glitter, paper, you name it. And Mrs. Elliott leaves the room, briefly. Matthew proceeds to get out the PVA glue, cover her chair in it, while she's out the room. She returns and unknowingly sits in it, to the amusement of the whole class, cementing Matt as a legend from very early doors. Whilst only 4, Matt and school never really did see eye to eye after that. And with that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Matthew Waterworth, the naughty little brother.
One's a bit longer than Michael's, sorry. Hello everyone, I will try and keep this short as I know we're all desperate to try some of the Edinburgh Abbey Angus beef. But also Victoria's no stranger to getting a little bit hangry, so we better go on. Thank you everyone so much for coming. It means a huge amount to us that we can share this day with our closest friends and family. Special mentions have to go to Freddie, Philip and Fran for making the trek across the pond. Just put your hands up, make yourselves known. Hannes from Dusseldorf. Another hand, Hannes. Right. There we are. Thank you. And then finally, Caitlin and James, who cut their travels short in South America to be here. So again, thank you very much. I'd also like to take this opportunity to just raise a quick glass to absent friends and family. Cheers. Thank you, Michael. Victoria and I honestly can't put into words how grateful we are to you. Firstly, for letting us take over Muckleborough for the week, but also for the huge effort that you've made into making the house into the quite literally stunning venue that it is today. I know it's still a little early for you all to see the full effects of the lighting which Michael has put in, but when it gets dark, you'll see it's honestly absolutely incredible. Thank you for arranging for the stairs to be built, and of course the bridge. I don't think we were expecting the fully level, sturdy structure, brick-taped, well-lit. Piece of architecture we had out there. I was expecting a plank of wood at best. I think it's so good, it's probably going to have to remain as a permanent feature. But thank you also so much for bringing the Chaffley round. If anybody doesn't know, that's the tank. I know it's taken a huge amount of effort from you to get that round here. It hasn't moved anywhere for 7 years. And yeah, like I say, it's taken a huge amount of effort from you and everyone at the museum to get it here. Victoria and I just wanted to say a huge, thank you. Since we arrived at Muckleborough last week, we've had nothing but smiles on our faces, and honestly that's all down to the huge amount of effort that which we've seen you make for us. We both just want to say how grateful we are to you and everyone at the museum for for all the efforts that you've made. And finally, thank you for saying thank you to quite literally every invoice that we put in front of you without a second hesitation. Thank you, Fiona, for the amazing cheese tower. It's actually not here, right? be out later. You can't wait to tuck into a little bit. Thank you for raising your daughter to be such a hard-working, creative, independent woman. Not many people will be brave enough to hand in their notice in the middle of lockdown and set up their own business. And I know Victoria had the guts to do that because of the values which you have instilled in her. Thank you for inviting me into your home so early on in our relationship and for helping me find my feet when I first moved to London. We were able to trial run living together under your roof, and we managed to make it work, even if we did have to share a floor with dodgy Roger and Roger. You have always made me feel so welcome in your home from day one, and I'm lucky to have such a caring and generous mother-in-law. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Mum and Dad, for supplying all the booze. It's very good champers. I know practically every Morrison's in the Northwest briefly ran out of stock in order for you to secure this particular brew for us. You systematically cleared out every shop in the area. Well, we really appreciate the effort that you went to get that for us. You have welcomed Victoria in with open arms ever since you met her. I think she passed the Waterworth initiation test camping in the caravan at Burley Horse Trials for the first time. She passed with flying colours, although I do think that the lobster dinners in the heated marquee probably made things a little easier. Mum, Dad, having you both as a cornerstone in our lives has given us the blueprint for what happy family life can be. I know we're not perfect, but I honestly think we have the best family in the world, and that's all down to you two, really. I'm lucky to be able to call myself a waterer, and I'm glad that I can bring... I'm lucky to be able to call myself a Wadsworth, and I'm glad that I can bring another member into the clan today. Most importantly, though, I want to thank you for teaching. Most importantly, I want to thank you for showing me exactly what it means to be a good partner and a good parent. Lessons that I will take forward as we start our own family together. Love you both so much. Michael beat me to it, but thank you to Echidna, which is the cow, for supplying the beef. Thank you, bridesmaids. Leo, Lissy, Lucy, Louise, Jess, Ilaria, Willa, and Becky. You all look absolutely stunning today, and thank you for getting to be to the aisle on time. Not an easy task. Thank you for all your help yesterday, and I think you can probably all put professional florist down on your CVs. Thank you, Marcus and Mike. I can't actually see you, but hopefully you can hear. Thank you for arranging all of the vehicles, although I know you didn't really need an excuse to get the toys out. Thank you, Nigel and Annabelle, for all your help getting the church into such splendid condition. And thank you, Goose, for organising a brilliant stag do. I really had no idea where we were going, so much so that I actually thought we were going to Eastern Europe. And when Victoria packed my bag with linen shirts, I replaced them with thick jumpers, which were a bit useless when we touched down into glorious sunshine at 20-degree heat Barcelona. From what I can remember, it was a great send-off. Lisonon Gaib. There's much that can't be said, but honestly, you organised an incredible weekend. Apart from the paintballing, I could have done without the 15 against 1, and the 1,500 bruises which followed. Look, mate, whether it's diving off mess bars, late night gaming sessions, or scranning kebabs outside Infernos at 4 in the morning, I know you've always got my back, mate, and there really is no one I'd rather have had on my side today. You're a class act, and I know I can rely on you no matter what. Okay, now that I've been so nice to you, please remember that when it's your turn. The biggest thanks of all, though, without a shadow of a doubt, let's go to the beautiful woman sat right over there. My wife. I think we can all agree that you look truly beautiful today. I know for a wedding you need something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. I think we probably hit our quota on the blue bit. It through Mucklerborough style, I thought we could do a little history lesson on the Rhine, which dates back to 19th century Lancashire, and the colour of blue is supposed to baffle the eye of evil. I think we probably blinded it today. As I'm sure everyone knows, events like this don't just happen overnight, and you have done everything, you have done so much to get today sorted. Nobody would be here today without you in the commander's seat of this wedding planning tank. And you single-handedly project managed this wedding from a dream into reality. With my organisational skills, I was never going to be a huge asset to the wedding planning. but they say that people who plan months in advance and people who plan the day of are meant to be together. That seems to be as far as I've got this morning, so I guess we're improvising from here. V and I met in the dissertation printing queue at Oxford Brookes University. Victoria, being the bold and beautiful model that she is, approached me and asked me if I could help her convert her dissertation into the right format for printing. Those of you who know V know that she is in fact very tech savvy and was perfectly capable of doing this herself. This was all in fact a complete ruse just to talk to me. We hit it off straight away, but once we'd printed our dissertations, we went our separate ways. I was slightly shocked by this beautiful creature had started speaking to me, thought I'd let her get away, but fate had other plans. I bumped into V that very evening out celebrating, and again the following night, and again the night after that. By the third night, and probably my fourth Jaeger bomb of the evening, I had plucked up the courage. I was certain that divine intervention was bringing the two of us together. I plucked up the courage to go in for the kiss while the timeless classic, Dancing in the Moonlight, played in the background. We partied all night, and I walked V home, my jacket around her shoulders. After a quick snog at the June Street door, V sent me packing with her phone number secured safely in my phone. Perhaps divine intervention was at work, again, but I decided to drop my jacket outside her front door and walked home ecstatic at the prospect of seeing her again. The next morning I received a text from none other than the mysterious dissertation queue girl, asking if it was my jacket that was on her doorstep. And my plan had worked perfectly. I was now the one with the excuse to go over and talk to V. And from there the rest really is history. Over the years, V and I have developed a huge passion for all things Italian. I lean more towards Roman ruins and Moretti, and V towards pasta and wine tasting. It was pretty easy to combine the two of those into an afternoon. We've already started slowly working our way around the country together, scoping out potential retirement plans, and I, for one, can't wait to continue that journey with you and to grow old together with you. V, you are a dog-loving, business-running, chocolate-addicted fashionista. Your eye for interior design has turned our house into a home, and I can't wait to see what you'll do with that country cottage we get one day. You're fiercely loyal to your friends, you're always put others' feelings above your own. Your drive and commitment to create a successful business inspires me every day. You're an absolute knockout, whether you're dressed up to the nines or chilling in the sofa on your comfies. Chilling in your comfies on the sofa. I don't know what I was expecting to find when I got into the dissertation printing queue all those years ago, but I certainly didn't think I was going to find my best friend. If fate is real, then it was hard at work that day, and I'm the luckiest person in the world to have been caught up in the middle of it. Time with you is time well spent, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. So, without further ado, and before things get any mushier, please raise a glass to my beautiful and outstanding new wife, Victoria.